Are you good, John? Oh. Okay, I'm going live. Well, welcome to day one of the 2023 Masters World Cup in conjunction with the Oceania and Masters Championships. This is your lineup. We are just waiting for our athletes to line up out the back, and they will be out for presentation ever so shortly. This is our lineup this morning. Welcome if you are just joining us, tuning in from around the world. You can share this live stream with friends and family so they can all get ready. We can quickly just have a look out the back while everyone's just getting prepared. So that is our back room currently. As I said, good lineup this morning. And a massive couple of days setting this up here at the Grand Millennium Auckland. And here come the ladies for session one, making their way out onto the platform. Oh, they're lining us up at the front of the platform. So I will scan across as we come through this morning. Denise from Australia. Lindsay Cunningham from New Zealand. Caroline coming from Australia. And Hall from New Zealand. Diana Flynn from New Zealand. Ruth Stewart from New Zealand. In the middle. And that's your lineup this morning. As mentioned, we've got very lucky we can go out to the back room straight off the bat. See the ladies going out the back and setting themselves up. It's set up in the back room, and if I look over the back, we have the men's platform over the far corner, and they will be presenting in approximately 7 minutes. In the meantime, we do have the officials. These are our officials for today's session. If they could step forward and introduce themselves. And so those are our officials. Right, I'm going to put everybody into a holding screen, the Auckland Unlimited holding screen, for the next 8 minutes, and then we will be back with you to the start of the competition. Well, good morning and welcome to session 1 of the Masters World Cup. This is your lineup this morning. We are just in the final seconds before we go live. And that is your lineup this morning. They just loaded the bar. Bar is loaded. And we are just waiting on the call. We're just going to go back to that. And we're just waiting on the competition to begin. That's fine, just start. Yeah, that's fine with that. Yeah, she's fine. Just go. Okay, we were just waiting on some clips, but looks like we're underway. So the bar is loaded to 24 kilos. It becomes a first attempt for Julie. So kicking off the event with a Masters record. And the referees say, and that's a good lift, and that's a good start to the competition for Julie, 24 kilograms. Good to get the competition underway. This has been a mammoth effort to get to this point, and now we can only hope this runs nice and smoothly for us. So let's see if we are good to go. Julie's got time though.
25 kilos is loaded on the bar.
They need to reset the clock. Is the call on Anne? Stop the clock. They have to reset it to a minute. So we're just having a couple of technicals. So we had a change of call. So the call goes back and moved up to 25 kilos. Julie's on 25 kilos, so the call will be on Anne, but she will get a minute. Let's have a little look into the background, shall we? What's happening back here? Lots of movement. So a lot of hustle happening at the table. Let's have a lot of work, a lot of changes coming in. There's Barbara Grieve. Those are your cards. Let's go back to the main platform because Julie Davis is ready for her second attempt. And that looks good to me too. Referees say good lift for Julie. So Julie's just following herself, which gives us plenty of time to have a good look at her technique, which is fantastic. Laugh, because there's a good Aussie contingent out the back, and you can see that they're really well connected as well. So we're just waiting. So let's go have a look give you guys the time to have a look at the scoreboard while we're waiting, because Julia's following herself again at this point. She's got 26 kilos loaded on the barbell. Like any competition, it just takes a couple of lifts to get this competition in motion. The first session is always a difficult one because many of our Masters athletes contribute to the event. So after this, they all don the blue jacket and become referees and everything else. And Julie is ready for her third, so we're going to go back to the platform. Here comes Julie. This is for 3 out of 3 records, Masters records. And the referees say, unfortunately, no lift for that one, but overhead, but unfortunately not to be. So now we have a couple of changes. We have the bar being loaded to 27 kilos. It becomes a first attempt for Caroline Perry. This is Caroline's first ever international competition, her second ever competition. So very brave to come up here and under the bright lights of the competition platform. So Caroline is ready. And Caroline has a successful first attempt. It's always one to get out of the way, so well done, Caroline. So at this point, let's go back to the scoreboard, give everybody a good idea of where they are today. So you'll see down on the bottom left-hand corner when a record is announced. So we have all of the records in here, whether it's Australian, New Zealand, Oceania, Commonwealth, and there will be a significant amount of records put through here today. I thought that was a good lift by Caroline. It's showing up red. So Caroline's coming out for a second. And that is a good lift. So bar is now being loaded to 28 kilograms. And this becomes a first attempt for Anne Hoare from New Zealand. And a Weightlifting New Zealand member for many years, and also the treasurer of Weightlifting New Zealand. This is opening attempt and it is an Oceania Masters record attempt for Anne on her first attempt. So really good starting place for Anne. So Oceania Masters record attempt. And Anne waits for the referee's signal, and the referees say good lift, and that is a new Masters record. Well done, Anne. Good start to the competition. Just trying to line up that slow-mo for everybody. Okay, so we're going back to the main platform. So Ruth has got the bar loaded, 28 kilos, first attempt. Ruth Stewart from Canada. And that's a good lift from Ruth to start her competition. Well done, Ruth. So we're, like any Masters event, we are rattling through the competition very, very quickly. So here again is our scoreboard. I'm struggling to keep up. If you are joining us from home, welcome to the Weightlifting New Zealand YouTube channel. You are watching the session 1 of the 2023 Masters World Cup. Here we have Suzanne Farrell. Oh, unfortunately, a little bit soft on the lockout. Referees didn't particularly like that. Big, nice and strict this morning. So all of these athletes have to have a nice, strong overhead structure when they lock it out overhead. So just while we're watching there, we'll be able to see this. I don't think we're going to have time because the slow-mo is too slow, but I'm going to come back to Anne on the main platform. So we're going to go back to Anne Hort, second attempt. That looks better for Anne. And referees agree. And Anne is into the competition. So let's go back to the scoreboard. As I said, they're rattling through very, very quickly. That's your scoreboard. There is lots and lots of people lining up out the back. Now, if you're watching this and looking for the men's live stream, we did have a little bit of an issue connecting to YouTube, so it may be running on Facebook. I haven't checked with John yet, but we had it all running, and then like any technical this morning, it all comes back. Anyway, we're back with Suzanne. This is her second. That was a better lift from Suzanne. And referees agree, and Suzanne is now to the competition. The frustrating thing for Suzanne is that she will look at that and go, I can do that pretty comfortably. So let's have a quick look. She just drags that through, much more powerful through the middle that time. locks it out overhead, much more stable, and that's what the referees like. So again, if you are just joining us, you're watching session 1 of the 2023 Masters World Cup in conjunction with the Oceania and Commonwealth Masters Championships. This is our first session. The women's age groups 65, 70 and 75. And we are rattling through this first part of the competition at an alarming rate. I am your commentator today, and for the course of the weekend I will have guests join me over the course of the weekend as well to sit in commentary. You can see on the board here it has record attempt, and this is for Anne Hoare, and this is Anne's third attempt. She was successful with her second. Well, unfortunately I see and the referees say good lift. And that was an Oceania Masters record. Well done, Anne. You know, as I said, she's done lots of work to help out with this event, being the Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand treasurer and a massive contributor to our sport. And we can't thank you enough, Anne. And to see you take the platform is really important. I know a number of us are all contributing and taking to the platform this weekend, but you're the first one leading off for us for New Zealand. So thank you for everything you do for our sport. This is the scoreboard. It's just being loaded for Denise Billings. I went backstage and had a chat with Denise earlier. Been lifting for 10 years. All of her friends answered all of her questions for her. I asked Denise what her passion outside of weightlifting is, and they all yelled CrossFit before I could even finish my sentence. So, an avid CrossFitter. No, we've had a change in call. The bar is now loaded for Ruth. This is Ruth's second attempt. This is 30 kilos. Come back to the main platform. Unfortunately, no lift there for Ruth. She's going to have to come back out. That was not secure overhead. So we've currently got a 2-minute clock for Ruth because Ruth will be following herself. As you can see 30. The next athlete is 31 with Lindsay lining up, Lindsay Cunningham. But we have a 2-minute call on 30 kilos, and this is for Ruth Stewart. As mentioned, welcome to the 2023 Masters World Cup in conjunction with the Masters Oceania and Masters Commonwealth Championships. Just while we're waiting, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors who have had massive input into this 5-day event, bringing it to Auckland, New Zealand. We have our major sponsors, Auckland Unlimited and Major Events New Zealand, the Lion Foundation, North and South Trust, Aotearoa Gaming Trust, TAB New Zealand, Chic and Raise Lower, the Packaging Forum, Beer Taiti Kiwi, Pure Athletic and Torpedo 7. So a big lineup, and we can't do these without a massive sponsorship input. So the athletes are just trying to line that up. So just you'll see the athletes just hiding in behind. We do have a 2-minute clock, so we can have a look in the back room. that's what's happening out the back for this second. Have a look around. So Cameron McTaggart there looking at the scoreboard. This is Barbara Grieve, tabulator. So this is our back room. And you'll see we are at the Grand Millennium Hotel in central Auckland. So over the far side is the men's session happening right now. This is the ladies' warm-up space. There's a whole heap more platforms just behind. There's Lynn Mays and Lindsay Cunningham. Zach just preparing her for her competition. You'll see our Canadian lifter just getting prepared and ready. Couple of plyometric jumps to get prepared. And we will come back to the main platform because we're ready to go. So Ruth, third attempt, 30 kilos. Oh, that was a much more valiant effort from Ruth. Well done. That's the 2-minute clock when you sit down at the back's harder, and it's always a little bit more difficult to come back from. Got a lineup of people just sitting out the back waiting to go. As I said, we can have a quick look out the back. This is our athlete waiting area. Looks like Lindsay Cunningham's ready to go. It's got a record attempt on the board. So that's your scoreboard. As I said, we're moving through at a rapid pace. Lindsay Cunningham, the call is on you, 31 kilos. This is a record attempt, a Masters World Cup record attempt. Those are the records in the bottom left. And a successful, well, I think it was successful. We wait for the referees. Referees agree. Good attempt and a new record. Congratulations. So back to the scoreboard. The bar is being loaded now to 31 kilos for Diana Flynn. Diana, a multiple times CrossFit Games representative. Been doing CrossFit for many years and dabbles in weightlifting. And a very powerful opening attempt there from Diana. And that is a good lift. So back to your scoreboard. As mentioned, when we do have enough time, I'll try and give you guys a slow-mo. I'll do my best. This is Diana Flynn's first attempt. Good. We're going to skip out because Caroline is ready to go. This is Caroline's third attempt at 31 kilograms. And unfortunately not to be. She waves it off. But as I said, that was Caroline's first ever international experience. And congratulations. It's a massive challenge, and that's the great thing about Masters weightlifting is taking on these challenges and putting yourself out there in front of the referees and the crowd and the cameras. So that's a massive achievement to get your first event underway. This is your scoreboard. These athletes just lining up so quickly, it's hard to keep up with them. The bar is loaded for Suzanne Farrell. This is a record attempt as well. So you'll see the Commonwealth and the World Cup records are at the bottom. And that should just give you an indication of There's so many records going to be broken over this weekend, it's going to be really hard to keep up with. But here comes Suzanne Farrell, third attempt, Masters record attempt. And referees say, oh, unfortunately no lift.
This will be an Oceania, Commonwealth and World Cup record attempt.
So more records, as you see, will be listed on the bottom. And the call is on Denise. This is Denise's first attempt, 32 kilos. As mentioned earlier, I was having a quick chat with Denise. Loves CrossFit. Oh, like a rocket. And that was a very comfortable opening attempt. And I think plenty more in the tank there.
This will bring out Megan, her first attempt. Oceania, Commonwealth and World Cup attempts as well.
So, bars being loaded. Call is on Megan. 33 kilos, first attempt, and again, a number of records. Meg's been lifting for 14 years, started at the age of 56. Oh, beautiful opening attempt. Makes the referee's job really easy when you lift like that. Well done, Meg. That's a real solid opener.
Can we have 53 kilos final bar, please? This is for Lindsay's second attempt.
Real powerful, good position through the middle. Good bar slam too. Watch that oscillation. So bar is now loaded to 33 kilos. It becomes a second attempt for Lindsay Cunningham. So here comes Lindsay. She was successful with her first on attempt. Now we're at second attempts. Again, Masters records. She does well to hold that position. What do the referees say? Oh, just. That was a well. The main thing is that she doesn't press that out overhead. So you'll see Lindsay dragged it through the middle, hits overhead. But as long as she doesn't press out, and she keeps that structure as she recovers, then that's a good lift. So she did very, very well to retain that. We're going to go back now. We have Diana Flynn, 33 kilos for her second attempt. And really easy lift for Diana on her second, making light work of it. Well done, Diana. So while we're here and you're at home watching this, please type in the comments if you're supporting today. You have to subscribe, so just click the subscribe button at the top and that'll allow you to provide comments on our YouTube channel. And please write every time an athlete comes out, good luck to them, because they will come back and they will watch these replays and they'll see your support. If you've also got any questions, you can throw those questions at me throughout the day and I will do my best, or endeavour to do my best, to answer your questions on the live stream. The bar is loaded for Denise. This will be her second attempt, 34 kilos, and it is a record attempt as well. Her first lift flew up like a rocket, and no doubt she'll be quite confident with this one too. Oh, that right elbow looked a little bit soft. Referees agree. So when we talked about weightlifting, we have to hit structure, and I know we've got some variances in lifting ability, or structure we'd call it, overhead. You'll just see Denise just want to keep an eye on that right elbow as she comes through. Heaps of height, but just there, and presses it out, and that's what the referees were looking for. She secured it overhead, and it wasn't that hard, so she needs to make a decision. Do I come back and try that again, or do I take more? So that's our scoreboard. The call is on Denise. We're at the final few lifts. As I said, this first half of the competition has gone exceptionally quick. So we've just got 3 athletes remaining. We're on final attempts for Denise, Lindsay, Diana, and then Meg's got a couple. Fantastic group to start this competition with. I do know that many of these lifters also give back now for the rest of the comp, so we're getting ready because Denise is ready for her final attempt, and this again is that record attempt. She's going to be looking to punch out those elbows a little stronger. Oh, that was much better effort and a good lift. Love that one. That's the effort that you put into when you get denied, just denied on that previous lift. Just see this come through much faster through the middle. Elbows punch in, no press out on that one. Good solid front foot step back. Referees say, yep, that makes our job a lot easier. And the good bar slam to make you feel like you've done the good work. So that's our scoreboard. Call is on Meg for her second. Oh, beautiful lift there. Referees say good lift. Well done, Meg. That's a
Lindsay will also be going for New Zealand, Oceania, Commonwealth and World Cup record.
2 minutes left.
Let's get them out.
So more records. Again, I think every lift today has been a record so far. But that's been your lineup. It's good to see a good amount of green. Here comes Lindsay Cunningham, third attempt, 35 kilograms. This is, again, a New Zealand Masters, Oceania Masters and World Cup Masters record. So not to be, unfortunately. Ever so close. Heaps of effort to get it overhead, but just not quite. If we go and have a quick look at that. Slow-mo, big wide split, but just couldn't take it to arm's length. And it has to fortunately come back down. So that's your scoreboard. We're back down to the final two lifts. We've got Diana Flynn, followed by Meg. As mentioned, Diana Flynn, a multiple times CrossFit Games representative in the Masters division. So exceptionally fit and showing us that she is also exceptionally strong as well. She's made these look really easy to start, first two. So this is the third attempt. This is a record attempt. Waits for the referee signal. Seems like an eternity. Referees say good lift. There was one red light there. I don't know what that was for, but we can hopefully quickly have a quick look at that. We have one final snatch. So massive extension. Maybe just it's referee was looking for something there. That was Diana successful with her Masters record. It seemed like an eternity that she was holding it overhead, even longer when it's in slow motion. But well done, 3 out of 3. Okay, we're going to go back to the main platform because here we have Meg for a third attempt, and this is also a Masters record attempt. Waits for the referees. Referees say, oh, unfortunately no lift. Ever so close. So that is the snatch session done. That's going to be one of the fastest running comps I've tried to keep up with in a while. So the jury is overturning. Oh, we have a good lift. Well done, Meg. So that was a good lift. Jury's decided. I have the jury sitting beside me. So I'm going to try and give you a slow-mo. Meg's so quick that you might see my thing pop up in the bottom real quick. So there, she locks it out, brings her feet back together. I agree, I thought that was like a rocket, and good lift, Meg. She waits for the referee's signal. And the much deserved bar drop at the end of it. So that is the snatch session complete, and we have just on 9 minutes until the start of the clean and jerk. If you're just in New Zealand, you should be at work by now, but if you're not at work, or you might be in Aussie. What is it in Aussie? About 7 a.m. on the eastern side. Maybe the western sides are not quite awake yet, but we will be back with you in approximately just under 9 minutes. welcome back to session 1 of the 2023 Masters World Cup in conjunction with the Masters Oceania and Commonwealth Championships. You are joining me live, Richie Patterson from the Grand Millennium Hotel in Auckland. We are here for the next 5 days. And that is our Snatch session from this morning. These ladies went through like rockets. And it's hard to keep up, but they had a brilliant start to the day. As you can see, there's not a lot of action happening out the back just yet, but we are down to the final seconds. Call is on Caroline. Massive setup to get running this morning, and the first session is always the one that you get the kinks going. So bar is loaded for Caroline, and we are waiting for her. I don't know, something must be happening out in the back room. I can't see anything happening out in the back room, so maybe I saw Caroline quickly dash out. Caroline's moved up. Yeah, I thought there was some changes coming through. Barb signing some things off. A few people dashing around out the back. You can see changes coming through. So a couple of changes coming on to the main platform. But if you're just joining us, as I said, this is the women's session 1. The women's age group 65, 70 and 75, all bodyweight categories. Good contingent here from Australia in this session. New Zealand, we've got Great Britain and Canada represented. And we're going to kick off the same way that we kicked off the Snatch with Julie Davis and a Masters record attempt. Julie had a really good start to the competition, exceptionally powerful. I asked Julie earlier why she does weightlifting, and it's for the friendship. And that is a beautiful start to the competition, Julie. Referees love it. So do I. And the great thing is I can go back and we can have a quick little watch as well. It's not going to let me get in. So, a few things just being loaded up right this second. So here comes Sue's first attempt. Referees, what do the referees think of that? No, unfortunately not. I was just looking at that left elbow. So you just see as she dips and drives. This is a super slow-mo, but you'll see as she dips and drives, elbows drop down, but we're just looking at that right elbow as she drives it overhead. Doesn't quite lock it out, and then just presses it as she recovers her feet back together. So she's going to have to go out and try and get that to that locked out position straight away. So that's the scoreboard. We are on a 2-minute clock for Suzanne. Suzanne representing Great Britain. We appreciate the effort that many of our athletes have made to get all the way to New Zealand. We hope you get out and travel the country, especially Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland. A beautiful destination New Zealand is. You'll see in the holding screens just a couple of the simple half-hour drives or ferry trips around the Auckland region. It's a beautiful spot to be. We've had a challenging summer, that's for sure, but when it's beautiful outside, it is stunning. Suzanne's coming up for a second. And referees like that one. Much better. She's on the scoreboard. Let's have a quick look through to the back room again. Great to see some of our international participants now. Wishing everyone good luck on the live stream. Good morning, Tans. Coach Singh, where are you looking from, Coach Singh? You're in India. We have a massive amount of Indian participation this weekend. Turned up a couple of days early. They were training in the back room. Love a friendly smile, and the Indian contingent are always so very friendly when they travel the world. We love having you here. So that's our scoreboard. We're waiting. The call is on Julie Davis for her second. This is a Masters record attempt again. Julie's had a good day so far. Fortunately, referees say no on that one. And just see, as Julie goes to lock this out overhead, she gets it overhead, but just a little bit slow in the elbows as they come through. Just enough to make the referees have to question themselves and go, is that meeting the technical requirements of the competition? Unfortunately not. So we'll just go back to the scoreboard. So we've got a 2-minute clock for Julie. Have a look what's happening out the back. Looks like there's a bit of action. A couple of changes coming through. Here's Julie here. Here she comes. I'll go back to the main. Just as I go to focus on her, she disappears. So oh, beautiful. Well done. Great. That was a good lift. I love the coaching call from out the back. Big drive in a nice Aussie accent. Big drive, get under it. There you go. Then that's what she did. It was a great lift. I'm just going to see if we can watch that on the slow-mo. massive, much better effort to get this bar well overhead on this one. Locks it in, much better structure, recovers the feet back together. Beautiful, strong step in. And she's into it. Okay, we're going to come back to the main platform because Caroline Perry is ready to go. This is her first attempt at 36 kilos. Oh, good solid overhead. She's going to retain it. Oh, I think she may have put it down. Got a majority decision. Oh, she's going to have to be careful that she doesn't put that down too quickly. So, big dip and drive. Good position and a really good structure overhead. So this, I think if she can get it up to her shoulders, she's going to have no issues going overhead. Waits for the recovery. As I said, this is Caroline's first ever international comp, second ever competition. So, really good start. Here we have Lindsay Cunningham prepped and ready to go. And that is a good first lift for Lindsay. So bar is being loaded for Caroline. We can have a look at Lindsay's jerk. It's not paused, that's just Lindsay taking her time before she does a dip and drive. Sets her breath. I've got to learn to get this timing a bit better. As I said, dips, drives, and overhead. Suzanne is ready to go, so we're going to go out to Suzanne. Easy work. Unfortunately, not quite taking it to lockout. Yeah, Suzanne's a really tall athlete, and it's a long way for that barbell to get overhead. I'm going to try and get these slow-mo transitions a little bit better for you, so we're not sitting around waiting. There we go. You'll just see how high she has to drive that bar and doesn't quite take it to arm's length, and then just has to push it through. And unfortunately not to be. Go back to the scoreboard really quickly just so everyone can get an update of where we are. So the call is now on Ruth, 38 kilos. So this is Ruth's first attempt, 38 kilos. And that looks like a good lift for Ruth, it is. A lot of action happening all at the same time. We've got two concurrent platforms happening side by side here, as most weightlifting events these days. It's the days of being a slow sport have gone because there's a lot of action going on. Big drive to get that bar overhead. Solid structure, and then recovers her feet nicely. So we're going to come back to the main platform because we have Anne Hall ready to go for her first attempt. Oh, good solid overhead. Lots of support in the crowd for Anne as well. And that is a good, great first lift. And that was also an Oceania record. And makes light work of the jerk. Beautiful elbows as she drives it through, locks it in. And someone's trying to call me from Australia. You guys just got that, so there you go. Please don't call me from Australia. In the meantime, Caroline is ready to go. We're just going to go to the scoreboard for a second. We'll put my phone on airplane mode just for all future Okay. Fortunately, if you are watching from Australia, I am running the live stream right this very second. So that is your lineup. So we do have a 2-minute call on Caroline. Was unsuccessful with her second. A few more athletes still to come into the competition. But we've gone through pretty rapidly. Now, at the completion of this event, we won't be having the prize giving straight away. We will be waiting for the men's session, which is happening on another stream. You can be watching that right now. And we will have a collective prize giving at the end. So the men's session has just finished their snatches. The ladies session will stick around, and then we will be doing a Facebook live or potentially a YouTube live for the main. Caroline's ready to go for her second. And that is a good lift for, well, I'm making those decisions, but I think it's a good lift. It is a good lift. Let's have a really good. Beautiful drive to overhead there, structure overhead. Feet come back together, referees say good lift, and you get that beautiful moment of you've done your third lift, bar slam, then the walk off with the coach. A little bit of confusion. Did I get it? But beautiful lifting and a really good start. Every time we come in and we see these record attempts at the bottom, you'll see New Zealand, Oceania, Commonwealth and World Cup. If you're from another country, we do have the Australian records loaded in that corner as well. But that just lets you know all of the records. There's a lot of records that have the ability to be broken at this event. So call is on Diana Flynn, and this is Diana's first attempt. And a good lift from Diana. Really good structure, takes her time to recover that front foot. Not paused, just holds that for a good duration. So we're going to come back to the main platform because we have Ruth coming out for her second attempt on 40 kilograms. Strong clean. I think she told the referees her decision. Unfortunately, no lift. So let's just go back to the scoreboard. Have a quick look at the scoreboard. So as I said, good lineup this morning. Heavily represented by the Oceania region with a couple of Commonwealth countries in there as well. First session to start off an event is always a big effort, and a lot of these Masters athletes then don the referee's attire for the rest of the day. That's the great thing about the Masters weightlifting community, is that everybody pitches in. It was a massive setup over the past couple of days to get to this point. We will give you a bit of a look around the event at some point over the weekend, do some videos for you. Great to see that we're getting some comments coming in from overseas to support. As I said, athletes will come back and watch these, and they will see all of your support on the live stream. So please write that in, let them know that you're watching. The completion of this event, as I mentioned, we will not be showing the medal presentation on this stream because we are going to do a dual medal presentation for the first session 1 and session 2, which is the men's session as well, and we will restream that on a separate stream because we have a different podium set up. So the completion of this event, we will be ending it. This will be able to come back and watch it at any point. As I mentioned, please support your athletes because they will see it, but we will restream the presentation of medals. Here we have Ruth coming out for her third attempt. So Ruth is in the competition. This is her final lift. And I think that's good. Referees agree. She recenters the bar for us. Thank you, Ruth. Much appreciated. But a really good
Lindsay's second attempt. Lindsay will be attempting World Cup record.
big setup. Great position just before she goes for her dip. You'll see a big setup with her breath. And then she will dip and drive into this. This isn't paused. This is just Ruth having a good setup. Well, I don't think it's paused. Maybe it is paused. We will come back to that. Here's Lindsay Cunningham.
Come on, Lindsay.
Easy. Legs. Strong dip. Hold.
And Lindsay is a good lift. And another Masters record. Big tip. As I said, Lindsay doesn't quite hit structure, but she retains it and recovers without pressing out. So bar is now loaded to 41 kilograms. This is the second attempt for Anne Hoare. And had a really solid first attempt in her clean and jerk. Referees say no lift, unfortunately. I think we saw a little elbow wobble. You just see Anne take this to lockout, but just there that she shimmies those elbows in, and that's just enough to make the referees go. It wasn't taken to full lockout. And that's why you saw the red lights, unfortunately. So we're just going to go back to the scoreboard. I look like I've got a question to answer beside me. So the barbell is loaded to 41 kilos. It will be for Anne. She'll get a third attempt following herself. So for those that are joining, welcome to session 1, the clean and jerks of the women's session, which is age group 65, 70 and 75. These are our more experienced weightlifters, and this is all bodyweight categories as well. Nice to see we've got people tuning in from home. A number of our masters will be watching on the live stream before turning up later in the week or early next week. Anne is ready for her next attempt. This is a big lift. This is a record attempt for Anne. So let's go back to that main stage. Let's go, Anne. Got it overhead. Just got to secure those elbows a little tighter. settling her feet in line. Referees made her hold it for a while. That's not usually a bad thing. Oh, unfortunately not to be. Again, getting overhead, but just not quite the lockout that she'd be hoping for. And she goes to dip and drive. Just have a look at that real quickly. So again, getting overhead, but it's just not quite hitting the lockout. She takes it to the lockout eventually, but not in that one clean movement. So for those joining us as well, for those that aren't here yet that will be turning up, we do have the opening ceremony tonight at 7 p.m. We're doing that on the first night because that captures the audience of today, those lifters that have come out and lifted today and those that are lifting over the coming days as well. So here we have Denise. Denise has got 42 lined up. It's also a record attempt. Denise looked like an absolute star in the snatches, so let's see how she goes in this portion of the competition. Oh, she was trying to hold on to that before the referees gave the down signal. It was a good lift. She has been awarded the lift. There was a slight delay in the down signal. I don't know why. You're allowed to do that. There's a little bit of discussion happening beside me with the jury, saying, are you allowed to go over the bar? Which you are. She tried to hold over it. She didn't touch the bar, which is a rule of weightlifting, not allowed to touch it with the foot. So she hurdled the bar. That is one of the best technical saves I've seen in a long time. Well done. And here we have Diana for her first attempt. This is also a record attempt. Diana being nice and patient. What does the referee say? No, I thought the same. I was looking at those elbows there. Just ever so slight on those elbows. Let's have a little look for everyone at home. Big dip, nice drive, but just there and then that little shimmy. That's the structure that we're looking for. You have to go straight to that lockout position. She takes her time in resetting that. So Diana's going to have to go away and have another go at that one. This is our scoreboard. We're going through this at a rapid rate. So as mentioned, this is session 1 of the 2023 Masters World Cup in conjunction with the Oceania and Commonwealth Masters Championships. I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors while we're waiting. Auckland Unlimited, Major Events New Zealand, Lion Foundation North and South Trust, Aotearoa Gaming Trust, TAB New Zealand, Chic and Raised Lower, the Packaging Forum, Beer Tidy Kiwi, Pure Athletic and Torpedo 7. That's a good lineup of sponsors and we appreciate everything that you've been. When you turn up here, athletes, you will be absolutely wowed by the setup. It's taken us a massive few days to get going. So here comes Diana Flynn for her second. Yeah, it's better elbows. And that's a good correction, and referees agree. And I'll be a little bit frustrated that she didn't put that drive into that first.
She'll also be going for front foot. 3, Oceania, Commonwealth and World Cup record.
Much better overhead.
She gets it.
And a good structure and return front foot as well. So barbell is currently being loaded to 44 kilos. Becomes the first attempt for Meg Emerton from Australia. Meg was an absolute star in the snatch, the first half of the competition. Very powerful lifter. Oh, and just as powerful in the jerk as well. No problems there whatsoever.
Loaders, we have 44 Denise Tyson on the bar, please. This is going to bring out Denise for her second attempt. This will also be
So bar is being loaded for Denise at this very point. But that was Meg's first really solid opening attempt. So Denise Billings, 44 kilos, second attempt. Just being tightened up on the platform. I can let you very quickly have a look at the scoreboard while we're waiting for that to be tightened. Centered, call is on Denise, 44 kilos. We're down to the last final 5 lifts of the comp. Denise been lifting for 10 years. Has a love for CrossFit. And hailing from Victoria, Australia. The referees say no lift, and I believe it is because of, well, the jury sitting beside me. We're talking about what is commonly referred to as a dirty clean. So you'll see she just catches it low here and then rolls it up the shoulders, and that is considered an incorrect technical movement. So at that point, if it's acknowledged by the referees, you'll be given the red signal to put it down. Referees may have not seen that, but I do believe the jury member beside me had already seen it. So we'll just come back to the main platform because we have a record attempt for Lindsay Cunningham, 44 kilos. This is Lindsay's final attempt. Unfortunately not to be, but a valiant effort, and well done, Lindsay. That's a big, big weight. Let's have a little look at that. Didn't quite take it to lock out overhead. And it comes back down, and that is the nature of gravity. But a massive effort today. Well done, Lindsay. So here we have the bar being loaded to 44 for Denise. Successful in getting it overhead on the previous attempt, but given red lights. Not to be, unfortunately. Too much today. So, bar's being loaded for Megan. Have a look at the scoreboard while we're waiting. So Megan's the last lifter of this session. She has 2 clean and jerks remaining. As mentioned, at the end of this, we will be ending the stream and we will rejoin you on a live stream for the medal ceremony of the men's and women's session 1 and 2. And we will be rejoining you for that after the completion of the men's session. In the meantime, here's Meg. She's ready to go. As mentioned, Meg started lifting 14 years ago at 56 years of age. Oh, beautiful. Great lifting. Super powerful overhead. Referees like it. She likes it. That was a really, really powerful jerk. It's real solid overhead. A few changes coming out the back. Coach telling her to sit down. They're all just looking at the screen. There you go. Get the direction. Stop watching yourself on the live stream. So this is our final lift. We're waiting for Meg. She's in the athlete waiting area at the back. Give you a brief look around. So that is the athlete waiting area and warm-up space. We are at the Grand Millennium Hotel in Auckland. It's a fantastic venue. Beautiful setup. Nice and intimate in here. Meg's going to keep her knees going. So there you go. You can say hi to everybody at home. Yes. Fantastic. Great to see. All of them can see the live stream happening in real time out the back. So that's our thing. We've got just on a minute. This is a record attempt for Megan Emerton. Listed her interest is hiking. So, and that's the great thing about being strong is gives you that capacity to push up the hills. Comes from Queensland, Australia. She's ready to go. Let's come back to the main platform because they're not there anymore. And Megan will make her way up on stage. And this is the final clean and jerk of session 1 at the 2023 Masters World Cup. Good fight. Referees say good lift. Love it. And that's why we do it, right? Fantastic lifting, Meg. So good. Let's have a look at how hard she had to fight for that jerk. I think the jury overturned it. We do have a jury reversal, unfortunately. So it was a no lift. Slight press out. Oh, look at that for a fight, though. Super wide. So, unfortunately, yeah, just there. She just, as she was bringing her feet back together, She looks back for the referee's decision. Unfortunately, this has been overturned. It was a no lift because of that slight elbow. I just want to see a nice slow-mo of her celebration. We have to wait for the slow-mo of the celebration. Here we go. Boomfa. And that is our scoreboard for session 1, group 1. As mentioned, I'm going to play you out. We will be joining you for the prize giving at the completion of the men's, which will be likely in about half an hour. 11:30 we'll go live on that as well. Thank you for joining us for session 1. Again, you are joining the 2023 Masters World Cup in conjunction with the Oceania Masters and Commonwealth Masters Championships. A massive thank you to our sponsors, Auckland Unlimited, Major Events New Zealand, Lion Foundation, North and South Trust, Aotearoa Gaming Trust, TAB, Chic and Raise Lower, the Packaging Forum, Be a Tidy Kiwi, Pure Athletic and Torpedo 7, and to everybody that is contributing, our referees and volunteers this morning. We will be back with the prize giving live session approximately 11:30, and then for this following session at 12, which is session 3. And I am going to play you out.